Hello there. I hope you all can hear me. Mr. EM, if you're there, still in the chat. Hello there. Welcome to today's live stream. Hope you can hear me. I know you can't see the simulator just yet, and I apologize for that. I'm gonna get that going here in a bit. Did I just say in a bit? I just tried to combine bit and whatever. Okay. There we go. There is our... Oh, there we go. We got everything showing up, I believe. Hello, and welcome to today's live stream. We're going to be taking a look at the PMDG 777-300ER, which just came, got released for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I believe it's been like a day since it released, or it got released today, I believe, pretty much. Anas says, hello, how are you doing? I'm doing all right, Anas. Trying to crawl through life one day at a time. What about you? EM, where are we going? We are currently in Dubai International Airport, and we're heading on over to Muscat. That is what we're doing today. Great to hear from you, Mr. Anas. And today we're going to be having... Benny on the stream. Hello there. Hello there.
Hello guys. Thank you for having me on the stream today. It's lovely to join here once again.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So yeah, today we are flying the 777-300ER, which just came out for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. PMDG has finally managed to port that over. And we're going to take it on our typical route here on the channel, the favorite route on the channel, my preferred training route as well, the Dubai to Muscat run. And we'll take a close look at the aircraft here, don't you worry. But from my first impressions, it's looking absolutely fantastic. I have not really had a close look at it. Literally just spawned into it for the first time in 2024. So it's going to be a nice little first look for us together in 2024. I hope there aren't any issues. I hope, Anas, if you can confirm in the chat if you can see the flight sim really well. I'm not entirely sure because I'm having issues right now. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to cut the stream on Twitch. I have no choice. Unless Mr. Anas tells me that it's actually looking fine and there's no issues with it, then we can continue.
I believe he did say, let me confirm if he meant Twitch. Mr. Anas, did you mean Twitch?
You want Twitch, YouTube, what's going on? Either way is fine. I mean, as long as it's not stuttery and stuff, we'll be alright. Anyway, today we also have a topic of discussion for the live stream, an unfortunate topic of discussion here, which is going to be the recent crash from, I believe it was on the 12th that it happened, the Air India crash in India. It was taken off towards London Gatwick, and I think that's going to be our topic of discussion for today's live stream. Air India flight, yes. And I keep forgetting the flight number for some reason.
I believe it's flight 171. Yeah, it's flight 171 with the Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner.
Flight 171. Are you sure it's 171?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
All right, so flight 171 it is, with the 787-8. Took off 1:39 p.m. on the 12th that just passed, and we'll get into more details of that as we take off. But first, let's focus on getting our aircraft up off of the ground, and then we'll discuss a little bit more about the unfortunate incident. And as always, it's a tragedy, but we'll take a look at it from an aviation point of view. We'll try not to get drowned by the politics. Let's see how that goes. Sensitive topic, but we'll approach it the best we can. EM says, internet, oh, that problem always haunts us, unfortunately. Yes, EM. Net issues are always a thing, you know, wherever you are, once in a while, it always shows up its ugly head. You know, we're busy building robots that can think for themselves. Perhaps they should fix up the entire global network. I think that's a better undertaking.
Yeah,
Huh?
probably.
Yeah, they should do that. Tell Elon Musk to stop making robots that can talk and look weird. Get us internet, man. Get us internet. And then you can talk about AI and whatever. Anyway, so let's jump into today's flight. Today's flight is very, very simple. One that I've performed many, many times. Nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever. If we jump into the cockpit here. Okay, or rather, did I just jump into the... Oh, there we go. EM says, I look to try to fly from KPAE to FMEE on 7878 in FSX. I have no idea what KPAE is. Neither do I know
Let me
what...
just check that for you.
Yes, please check out what KPAE and FMEE. What are those airports? I haven't heard from Boeing Airfield to Reunion. Oh, Reunion Island. That must be an interesting flight.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The Spain Airfield to Reunion.
I have not heard from quite a number of our viewers in a while. GeoAvi has disappeared. So has Swasti. She's also disappeared for the large part. Anyway, here we are in the cockpit of the 777-300ER, and as you can tell, we're running on GPU at the moment. Let's go overhead and see if everything is set up the way it should be, shall we? How does that sound to you, Benny?
Sounds pretty good.
All right. Seat utilities.
Although, I do have a question.
What is the question before we get started here?
When was the 777 released for 2024?
Today.
Oh,
That's
nice.
This is the 777-300ER, and it was released, I believe, within the last 24 hours, if I'm not grossly mistaken. So, here we go. ADAR systems on and aligned. We saw that. That is fine. These are on. Batteries on. APU gen. All of that is all good. Looking good. Nav lights are on. And yeah, that is pretty much it here. APU is already obviously off at the time being. And let's get in here and see what we can do. Maybe with one refueling. But I will say to you, if you do this flight without refueling. Oh. Okay. All right, I see what you mean. So you want to try and do it without refueling. All right, let me know, EM, how that goes, because I do want to fly to the Reunion Islands. That sounds like fun. Okay. All right. Okay, let's head on here into the tablet. Check out our routes for the day. Request data. Oh, for the love of God. It's a new aircraft, so I gotta set this up, don't I?
I believe you do.
Yeah. We need a sterile cockpit over here, don't we? Oh, for the love of God, man. What is going on now? Sim brief, alias, and save preferences. There we go. Request data. Oh, my God. What do you want? Just get the goddamn thing going. There you go. Okay, so today's route, like I said, it's a simple, very simple route from Dubai down into Muscat here. Very simple departure procedure, straight out, as you can tell by the green lines, the green legs of the departure. Very simple en route, pink, very simple magenta, violet, purple, whatever color you want to call that, arrival procedure into Muscat.
Let's call it Fly Danube.
That's not Fly Danube, man.
No, I mean the color. Let's call the color Fly Danube.
Yeah, that's not the one. The pink is more Fly Danube. Okay, whatever. That is neither here nor there. Let's go to the FMC here. Position initialization. We shall go to the next page. Pick up that, please. Go to the previous page. Set that in there. Excellent. Reference airport OMDB, please. I have not flown this since the last time I took out the 777 on live stream on the channel, so I might be a little rusty. And look who's here. Swasti says hello, 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 and hello there. How you doing? How you doing? Let's go towards our let's go towards where do we just go? Position initialization. Let's go towards our route. Origin is OMDB. And destination is OOMS. Let's put that in. Let's request the route from SimBrief today. Let's set the payload. Let's set the fuel. All that is done. Let's select the route. Route requesting under process here, which is fantastic. Alrighty. Let us load that up. And route is being loaded. We'll wait for that. Just waiting for that to happen. And once that is done, we can... oh, there we go. Activate, execute, and clear all of these messages right here. Okay, brilliant. All good looking for calm flight. Yes, it is indeed. On my favorite airliner of all time, the 777-300ER. Benny, what was your favorite airliner again? I nearly forgot. Benny, are you there? Have you disappeared?
Oh yeah, I am. I believe you were asking EM.
Oh no. Sorry, I was asking you.
My favorite airline. That's a tough question.
It is a tough question, isn't it? It's a tough question indeed. And now that you mentioned it in the chat too, EM, if you're there, please do let us know. I believe we had this discussion before, but for the time being.
If I can categorize them, if I'm allowed to categorize them, then I can definitely rank them.
Oh, most certainly, of course.
So I believe the airline I'm most comfortable flying is probably Emirates.
It's Emirates.
Even though I'm a very harsh critic, but it probably is. But then the airline with the best food, that's definitely Turkish Airlines. From my experience, definitely Turkish. And then the airline which I've enjoyed the most, and by enjoy, I only mean people like me will enjoy it, is Kuwait Airlines. Kuwait Airways, I believe. Yeah, Kuwait Airways. And that's because they're very turbulent, always. They have haphazard approaches.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
That sounds
Not many
like
people would enjoy that, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great because I myself, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe we
Also,
have all of
is this the
set
first
up.
time? Is this the first time you're flying from Dubai in 2024 on the channel?
I might be. That about sounds right. That might be correct. That might be correct. Okay, so we got
That's very interesting. Yeah.
V reference speeds here finally. So let's put that in. 293751 is our takeoff gross weight. It doesn't calculate that for some reason. I don't know. Takeoff data. Anything else missing? Next page. Nah, I'm all good with this. Oh yeah, I know what's going on here. We need to come here. We need to go to the route here. Oh, that's all done. I'm not setting up any flight numbers. All that is fine. Yeah, I think we're good. Yep, we're good. Are we not? Yes, sir. We are good. Okay, so FMC is pretty much set up here. Now, what we need to do here is set up the local pressure, which we've just done. Brilliant. Our climb out speed for the day, I'm gonna go 185, right? I'm gonna go 185. LNAV is not turning on for some reason. FD on, please. FD on. Now it should work. There we go. LNAV and VNAV both available. Everything looking good. Cruising altitude for the day is given at 25,000 feet. Okay. So I'm not entirely sure why it is.
I mean, it's a 40-minute flight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty short, so I guess so.
So
I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, you're right. Let's go towards the performance data just a little bit. Cruising altitude 250. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so that's done. Anything else that needs to be done here? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we're pretty much... Oh, we need to request our GSX boarding here. Kindly board our aircraft. Thank you. Could you please do that, GSX? Do I have to beg you again? Request boarding, please. Oh, for the love of God, this thing is so annoying. You know, that's the one thing I don't like about GSX. I don't know what it's doing right now. So here's the thing. So I have the profile for 777 installed on I have the profile for GSX installed on the 777-300ER, right?
Yeah.
But that's for 2020. Does that mean that automatically the 2024 one also gets installed? I have no idea. But for now, SimBrief seems to be, GSX seems to be doing its job. We can see our cargo doors opening up right there, which is brilliant. And our jetway is trying to connect or failing to connect. I don't know what's going on with that. No. I don't know what's going on with the jetway. Because that's failing to connect right there, isn't it? Oh, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Something has to always go wrong. Always. Why can't it just work the way how it's meant to, huh? Why can't
I think the passengers are expected to jump over the aircraft.
They're expected to perform a little bit of a leap of faith, if you will, from the end of that jetway into the aircraft. So that is one way to board your aircraft. But beyond that, this is what's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go to the tablet, see if I can figure that out. It's just annoying. For every aircraft, something has to be, you know. Come on. Oh, good Lord. Look at this. Look at this. What is this? Is it A380 near you from the right? Yes, it is. This is an A380 EM. And that's another aircraft we've never flown on our channel, which we probably should, eh?
I believe we do have it, right?
Yeah, we have it.
In 2020 only.
We have it in 2020 at the moment, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have it in 2024.
Does it even exist in 2024?
It does, but...
oh.
That's right, EM. Olympic Games in the airport indeed. So we're going to ask the passengers to jump. In this particular instant anyway.
Where are the next Olympics being held, by the way?
Good question.
In US? I think it's LA.
Benny, with all due respect, I couldn't give a toss about the Olympics. I'm just being honest. I think here's the thing.
Why is that?
Here's the thing. When I was a kid, right, I used to watch the Olympics like religiously.
Yeah.
But at this point, I saw the last Olympics. I was checking out clips because I was like, oh, I used to watch the Olympics a lot. Let me check out the clips from the last Olympics. I don't even remember where it was. And I quite frankly don't even care. But my point is, I was checking out clips and I was like, you know what? Let me see how the Olympics is. And I saw something. I saw the, like, no disrespect to the athletes who perform in these sports. My point is, I have a genuine question though. What do you do for the rest of the year? Like there's some sports there that even after years of watching Olympics, I'm like, I've never seen this anywhere else.
No, they're always like 90% of the time they have. I think there's a rule for Olympic sports. They have to be established sports. So they do have local tournaments, international tournaments.
You got some weird stuff in there, man. You got some weird stuff that nobody watches throughout the rest of the year. You know?
Such as?
I mean, if you were to... Okay, like for example, this is not even that weird of a sport. It's actually quite well known. I mean, amongst people who watch sports, I guess. Curling. Who's out there watching curling throughout the rest of the year is my question to you. You know
I see your point there.
Don't get me wrong. I like curling. I find it really cool. I find it really, really cool. But my genuine question is, who's watching it?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I understand that completely.
So that is my question. That's why I stopped kind of watching the Olympics, because some of the stuff I'm like, now they're just trying to make me feel dumb on purpose. You get my point? So I just quit it. I just quit it. So yeah. Anyway.
There is one thing though which really blew my mind. I saw it I think a few months ago on Instagram. There were these people, like as a kid we used to play this game where you would try to keep the balloon in the air. I forgot what the name of the sport is.
Right.
Officially.
Right.
But you just have to keep it in the air. It touches the ground and it's a point to the other guy.
Okay.
And they have a World Cup for it now, which is insane. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Oh, chat section. EM says, can you look where it go? Unfortunately, EM, I can't check out where this aircraft is going. This is aircraft that's injected by the traffic injector, and there's no way for me to tell where exactly it's going, unfortunately. Triathlon is a hard one. Yes, it is. Triathlon is very, very hard. You see, I can understand triathlon being an Olympic sport. It makes kind of makes
triathlon again?
I don't know, the one where they do the three things, the cycling, the swimming, and the running, I think is a classic triathlon, if I'm not mistaken. I have no idea. Don't quote me on that one. But basically they do the three separate events and it's one giant race.
All right. That makes sense.
That makes sense. And that one I can understand. Okay, it's an Olympic sport, kind of makes sense. Okay, whatever. Even then, it's three sports in one. So there you go. That's another question mark for you. But, you know, still. Whatever floats your boat, great. But, you know.
They're bringing cricket back this Olympics, though.
Oh, good
which
Lord.
Which is kind of interesting.
You see,
it hasn't been there for like 100 and something years.
Here's the other thing. Like sports like for example, soccer or football or however you want to freaking call it. Cricket, like the Olympic versions, nobody cares, man. I'm just being honest. Nobody cares. It's outside, like the teams themselves, the players themselves, when they go to play, they don't even care. It's a fun time. It's a jolly little trip. That's all it is. You know, they care more about the sports actual cup, which kind of makes sense.
Champions League.
Yeah,
T20 World Cup, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, no one's out here debating who won the last Olympics, you know, in football. And no one's... It is what it is, you know. Do you even know who won the last... Who got the gold in football in the last Olympics?
I don't think football's been there in Olympics, has it?
I wouldn't even know, man. I wouldn't even know. At this point, I wouldn't even know. You know, they're mixing and matching.
Coming back after a break of 100-something years, like basically a century.
Oh, good Lord. Are you a fan of cricket?
Yeah, I used to be. Not anymore. I'm more interested in baseball now.
Yeah, I love baseball. I really love baseball. Okay.
It's practically the same thing, except the ball's in the air or on the ground.
No, don't insult it.
I mean, there's not much difference. No, I've played both. I've seen both.
Yeah, I've played both too, and I've seen both too. And for the love of God, baseball is not the same as cricket. Baseball is...
No, I'm not saying it's the same. It's like very, very similar. Like a person who plays baseball can definitely play cricket and vice versa.
No, absolutely not. I disagree on that.
No, they won't be as good, obviously, but they can definitely play it.
See, here's the thing. Someone who plays baseball can play cricket probably, but it's not the same. The bats are completely different. The handling is completely different. The bounce is different. But someone who plays cricket cannot play baseball. I'll tell you that right now. Rock climbing, swimming, rugby, some of my favorites. Athletics. Oh, rock climbing. That's nice. I like that one. Rock climbing, swimming is cool. Rugby is nice. Everybody loves rugby, right? And athletics. Athletics, I'm not so sure. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the track, per se. I always support hard the German football team. Then my Russian team drops out. Okay. You switch sides there with EM for a second. But I'm also a big fan of German national team back in the days. They're so professional. I mean, old football team. Yeah, I think everyone's in love with their old football teams. I'm the same. I love the 2006. Was it the German team 2006? My gosh, they were good. It's a good time. I haven't watched sports in so long. I no longer watch sports. I just don't. I just don't. Anyway, the boarding process here is painfully long for some reason. We're loading up all those cargo pellets. I guess it's because it's a 777. It takes a while. And our passengers...
That's probably the last one.
The passengers we won't be able to see because of GSX being a little punk here on the live stream here. I don't know what's going on here, but for some reason Jetway decides it's not going to connect. 2024, ladies and gentlemen. You do the exact same flight from one gate, everything goes flawless. You do the same thing from another gate, this is what it gives you. Doesn't make any sense. The whole thing is just buggy top to bottom. I don't know, man. I don't know. Wait.
Are we, sir?
Somebody just subscribed.
Somebody
just subscribed. Who just subscribed? KJVR. Thank you so much for the subscription, KJVR, and welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy yourself here. Today we're on a little live stream from Dubai to Oman. So yeah. That's right, EM, Close. Oh my god. I was such a big fan of Close. Brilliant team. That is absolutely right. He was such a legend. I was such a big fan. On point. That was my favorite World Cup in terms of team following. I was following them all the way up until they finally lost. But you know, great team, that one. Great team. Okay, let's come in here. Let's close up everything that we possibly can. Should I do it or should I just let GSX do the thing? You know what? I'm just gonna ask GSX to prepare. We can turn on our APU now, can't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's turn that on. Now the one thing that the 777 does have that we can actually use is the checklist function. So we can do that. Oxygen test. Do we need to test the oxygen? I really hate testing for this. It's pointless. I mean, it's not like if it stops working, I'm gonna stop breathing here. You know, who the hell cares? I'm just saying.
The passengers will.
I mean, I'm just saying. You know, okay, there you go. Testing oxygen, flight instruments. Yeah, we're good. Parking brake set. Okay, it's set now. Normal flight deck door closed and locked. We don't have that yet, do we? We don't have that yet. GSX, come on, don't do this to us. Are you done boarding? Yes, it is. Okay, great. So let me just come here and close up all our doors. There we go. Brilliant. Passengers on board anyway. Yep, passengers on board anyway, man. That is the beauty of freaking 2024. I guess they invisibly jumped the gap and now they're in. Anyway, the doors are closing up and yeah, we'll be ready to get on out of here anytime. Luckily, our flight isn't that long. Or we only have... No, we have passengers on board as well. We have 355 passengers on board, so near full house. Lots of passengers on board. Okay, so that is done. That is perfect. That is brilliant. Let's go back to that checklist right there, shall we? Flight deck door closed and locked. That's done. Passenger signs. Oh, come on. We need to turn on the passenger signs too. I thought, you know, you could give them a little surprise here. Okay, where on earth is the passenger signs for this one? I don't even know where they are. Benny, do you remember where the passenger signs were?
I believe they're supposed to be next to the lights.
There they are. Found them.
Yeah.
I found them. There we go. MCP V2 heading track altitude. I think we have everything here set up except for the heading. We don't have the heading set up, so let's set up the heading. You know what? Since it's asking us so nicely to set up the heading, we should set it up. So let's do that. There you go, that's good enough. That is good enough, mate. Come back in there. Takeoff speeds are inserted. That's done. Trim units 00. What is going on here? Trim unit 00, huh? I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna tick it up. Taxi, that is done. Beacon lights on, that can wait. Okay, so let's go ahead and request our pushback here. How does that sound? No, release ground.
Yeah, that sounds...
Oh, do we have APU running?
Yes, we do.
How
I
come?
believe so.
How come the APU generator? You know what? We'll find out. Let's go. Let's release the ground power here. There we go. Released ground power. We're still alive, so APU is running. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. There we go. We need to get rid of the wheel chocks though. Otherwise, that's going to give us issues. Where is the wheel chock? For the love of God. Remove chocks there. Thank you very much. Okay. We're pretty much ready to start up our engines here, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. I need to go and double confirm whether we have the correct ILS frequency for Muscat. That is something I need to confirm.
Also, you need to turn the lights on before you start the engine. Please don't forget. Otherwise, you might have some accidents by some ground staff just flying into the engine.
Correct. That is not a not something
it's not
a
pretty sight.
No, that's not something I want to simulate here. Okay, we can begin. You know, this whole crash with the Air India thing has got me thinking about that. What is that? The one in Korea, the one that happened recently. What is it called? Jeju Air?
Yeah, Jeju Air. That's the one.
Whatever came of that? Did they manage to conclude up what happened on that? Give us more information on that? And that Embraer crash in was it Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan? Kazakhstan, wasn't it?
I believe Uzbekistan. I don't know actually. I think it was Uzbekistan.
Right, there was that Embraer crash there as well. Do we have any idea what happened with that? We should check on that. How about that? We'll take a look at that as well.
So for Jeju flight, I have the info in front of me.
Okay.
And apparently, they didn't like reach a full conclusion, but they said that a bird strike may have caused a malfunction that affected the hydraulics, controlling the landing gear, and there wasn't enough time for the pilots to manually deploy the landing gear, which is why the aircraft just crashed.
I'm not entirely sure what I make of that.
It overrun the runway after a belly landing, and it crashed into a structure building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I need to change this to engines here. Give me a second. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, we can flick open the fuel control. Get that engine started up. Sarah Adams, hello there. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here. Otherwise, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. And welcome to the live stream. Why are we being pushed back right into that aircraft? Doesn't make any sense. What are you doing today, GSX? What are you doing? Good Lord. Good Lord. Those engine sounds are absolutely marvelous though. These engine sounds are absolutely marvelous.
I think the guy who's leading the pushback is intoxicated.
Yep.
That's probably it.
Most probably. That's what it is.
You can see him. Oh my god. It just came out of the tail.
Okay, anyway, at least it's going to probably end up in the right position, which is what is important, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
There we go. Engine number 1 starting up here. Kind of. Yeah, let's flick that open. Come up here. Swasti, hey Sarah, glad to meet you in the chat. Oh, okay. Talking to Sarah there. Brilliant sounds. I love this thing. Oh, that's so cool, man.
Yeah, the guy is definitely confused. He just keeps turning around and around.
Yeah. Okay. Nonetheless, that is pretty cool there. I'm gonna turn on the wing lights too here. That is pretty cool. Okay, engine's back to normal condition. What is going on here now? What has this happened? Oh, we need to set that up. My bad. We need to set that
we
up.
just got another sub.
Did we?
Yeah, 439.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's someone on the private, with their subs on private, perhaps. But anyway, whoever you are, welcome. There we go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. I don't know why the aircraft is so dark. It looks very dark, but the nose is being lowered here. Hope you can see that. And yeah, apart from that, we're looking pretty good. We're not going to turn on the landing lights or the taxi lights just yet. We're going to blind all the ground crew around us. So now hold off on that. I forgot about the fuel pumps too, man. What am I doing here? Good lord, what am I doing here?
The engine's turned on without the fuel pumps?
Yeah, they can turn on for a short while without the fuel pumps, but you need to.
Until they die.
Yeah, until they die, pretty much. I've forgotten. This is what happens when you don't. When you're not used to an aircraft. This is what happens. It's like you just a couple of flights. You take a break from it. It goes out the window. You get my point?
Yeah.
So yeah. There we go. We should be getting a wave from that personnel. Or are they just gonna walk off without waving to us? That's sad. Come on. Oh, there it is. Bye-bye. See ya. Bye. Thank you. Okay, let's drop the flaps to our takeoff position of 15. Is it today? Yeah, we're supposed to be taking off with flaps 15, apparently. Parking brakes set, APU running. We can turn off our APU at this point because everything else should manually take control. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, that should all work, and it is. Yeah, do you see anything that I'm missing here, Benny? Because for some reason today, because I haven't flown this in a while, I'm not exactly doing a great job of staying on top of.
It all looks good.
The checklist here. Yeah, I think we're all set for.
The lights, maybe.
Just a little bit of lights here and there, perhaps, but apart from that, I think we're pretty much okay here. We need to set up. The TCAS is already set to TARA, which doesn't make any sense, but hey, it is what it is.
It's still fine, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. Yeah, do we have anything else we need to do here? Yes, we do. We have a bunch of stuff that we need to do. We need RTO on the auto brake. And yeah, that should be it. We're pretty much ready for taxiing. So ladies and gentlemen, let's taxi out to our runway today. Okay, release parking brakes if it will let me. Actually, I have to go to the cockpit to release the parking brake, don't I? PMDG has that little thing with the parking brake right there, so let me just do that. There we go. There we go. And I need to use my flight controls here. Are we rolling? We're rolling very, very slightly there.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Okay, at least we're rolling. Beautiful terminal here in Dubai. I'm just crack open the throttle there. Just so we get moving. Perfect. Brilliant. Flaps look good. We're looking good, ladies and gentlemen. It's so beautiful. This aircraft is just absolutely stunning. And the model's also really, really good. And where are we going? Oh, good lord. How has this guy...
Are your strobe lights on?
No, they're not on.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be on.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's just head out onto our runway, shall we? Because the way how we were put at this taxiway, it's not good at all. Okay, we're looking good. Auto brake, RTO, doors are on manual? I wonder the doors are automatic. Why are they on manual? I don't understand. We'll find out. Okay, I think everything else is looking good. We don't need to arm the speed brakes. I think takeoff configuration is pretty much set up, right? We'll just go through the checklist a little bit, and that should take us exactly where we want. We'll follow this taxiway right here. Come on. I'm pretty sure we're taxiing the wrong way here, but doesn't really matter right now, does it?
Yeah, pretty much. It doesn't.
Okay, let's go to...
Even if it does, nothing you can do about it.
Let's go to checklist. Anti-ice. We don't need anti-ice. Recall done. Flight controls. We need to check up the flight controls, don't we? Let's check the flight controls. Ta-da! 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 Quick check of the rudder while we're taxiing. Whoop! Whoop! That works. Okay, we're good. We are good. Flight controls are good, man. Ground equipment is clear. We did all of that. Flaps are set, man. That is great. Landing gear up and flaps up. Okay. We're pretty much ready for takeoff. That's brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so do you have any news on what happened with the Kazakhstan Embraer incident, or Uzbekistan, whichever it was?
No, it was actually Azerbaijan.
Oh, Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
No. Anything came out of that, or still working on it?
Just hold on a minute.
Sure. Okay, we'll make our right turn here, and that'll take us into our runway for taking off today, which is 12R. Okay. There we go. We're going to stop short of the runway here. Brilliant. Going to turn on my runway lights. I'm going to turn on strobe lights, and I'm going to turn off our taxi lights here today. Okay. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're pretty much ready for takeoff, and let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Benny, let me know when you're ready for takeoff, mate, because we are here.
I'm pretty much ready.
There we go. Okay. Let's release that parking brake. It still hasn't given me the chime for cabin ready for some reason. I don't know why it hasn't done that.
I mean, ready or not, here we go.
Ready or not, here we go indeed. There's some button somewhere here to do something, I don't know. Okay. Passenger signs are on, auto brake is on, doors manual. How do I change the doors to automatic again? I've completely forgotten. Can you even do that?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Let's just leave it as it is.
Leaving it as it is.
Yeah.
Leaving it as it is. And ladies and gentlemen, we are crawling our way for no reason here. Let me just open up the throttle there. There we go. Is there a... Okay, there is a toga button on the 777. There is a toga button on the 777. Come on, turn around a little tighter than that. Not that we really needed that tight of a turn, huh? Okay, we're pretty much at the very end of the runway. Well in front of the threshold here. This doesn't matter for takeoff at all. There we go.
All your lights are on?
Yeah, everything that needs to be on is on, pretty much. You can go outside and have a look. Check it out. There we go. We're looking good, right?
Yep. Looks good.
Let me see if I can flick open the... There we go. Take off, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. You're up.
All right. Nicely done.
Thank you. Flaps up. It will let me. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it's commanding a steeper climb here, which is fine. Just fine by me. Okay, I think we're looking okay here. Just like that. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Up and out of Dubai we go. I'm going to hand it over to the autopilot here. Yeah, the runway is really nice. It is. There we go. Out of Dubai International Airport we go. Looking very, very nice. Look at that. That's lovely stuff. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, auto brakes are off. Brilliant. Great. Strobe lights, all of that is fine. That's all looking good. Okay. I think we're looking good here. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are now on our way to Muscat. And this is why the 777 is my favorite aircraft. Look how smooth and beautiful it is. Just absolutely lovely. Look at that. Gorgeous stuff. The runway is really nice, isn't it? The runway lights and stuff. If you look behind us, look at that. I hate the way how textures load in 2024, which, by the way, Benny, if you didn't know, they finally allowed us to download stuff in 2024. So
yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
it was I think a week ago they released it.
Well, that was still the beta stuff, but now I believe it's coming around to the actual release. So beautiful aircraft. Look at that.
They even have their anniversary edition coming soon, right?
Yes, the 40th anniversary edition is supposed to come around. Hopefully a bunch of upgrades as part of that, but I don't have high hopes here.
Yeah.
Okay, we're looking good.
I mean, to be honest, 2024 was such a letdown.
Yeah, it was a letdown and it continues to be a letdown.
Yeah.
Anyway. These larger aircrafts have gorgeous belly views. I'm excited. Oh, say no more. Oh, unfortunately for you, mademoiselle, today PMDG aircrafts don't generally have good external views. So
yeah,
this is the only
belly view.
yeah, this is the only belly view we have for you. This is the only belly view we have for you. But yeah, still not too bad, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Look at how beautiful this looks, man. Just gorgeous stuff. Our own views are better, though, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is. It isn't. Okay. All right. I think now is a good time for us to. Okay, let's head back in the cockpit first. We've definitely crossed 10,000 feet there. We can turn off our landing lights. We can turn off taxi lights, strobe lights, and all the others can remain on. I'm going to leave the wing lights on here just so we can see a little bit better. Yeah, we need to change our pressure to standard there as well. It's still really pretty with the lights below. Yeah, it is. I agree. Our next checklist is a descent, so we can go to monitoring our engines or something like that here. So yeah, I think now is a good time for us to begin talking about the Air India incident. Which firstly,
sure.
I'd like to start off by extending mine and the channel's condolences to everybody involved in the incident. I'm pretty sure, especially the fact that it crashed into an occupied building, that kind of adds to it. It's always a shame when people on the ground suffer as well when it comes to air crash, because it's such an unexpected thing, right? If you're on the ground to be involved in an air crash when you're just sitting in the ground inside a building, and you know it's such an out of the ordinary thing. But yeah, so that being said, let's see what we can talk about in terms of the accident from a pure aviation enthusiast point of view here. So what have you learned about it so far, Ben?
Let me start by a few facts of the incident.
Sure.
So it was flying from Ahmedabad airport to London Gatwick, and it took off on 12 June 2025 at exactly 1:38 Indian time PM. It was the Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, and it crashed approximately 30 seconds after takeoff into the hostel block of a medical college in the city. So 30 seconds right after takeoff, it's very unusual. Like, considering we have a background in aviation, it doesn't really make much sense. Like, post takeoff, we've heard of things where they had failed takeoffs. This was a successful takeoff, but then it just went ahead to crash. What do you think?
Going from a successful takeoff and something that seemed so normal, right? It seemed, at least for the first few seconds, but at the same time, you have to remember the fact that the captain did put in a mayday like immediately after takeoff.
No, actually, there's a new report. Let me pull that up.
All right, what are they saying?
You can go on. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, sure. So the fact that the captain put in a mayday request that early into the flight, that kind of, I don't know, that kind of indicates that immediately as you rotate, something going wrong with your aircraft. What are the chances? So could I exactly call it like a normal takeoff? I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. That's my point that I'm trying to make here. The
captain actually gave the mayday call just a few seconds before the crash.
Just a few seconds before the crash, you say?
Just a few seconds before it started descending back.
Yeah, exactly. Before it started descending back, which wasn't long after takeoff. It literally took off, climbed to about 191 meters, and then just started going straight back down. And whatever was happening, apparently, according to the survivor, there was some sort of noise. I don't want to say explosion, but there was some sort of noise right after takeoff, or as they were taking off, or something to that effect. So I don't understand. A lot of stuff floating around, and as for the theories, they've got three main theories, right? We can take a look at that. I don't know if you watched the video by Captain Steve.
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, so Captain Steve.
I did watch another video by another captain. I believe his name was Marco. But yeah, go on.
Right. So Captain Steve outlined three theories, I believe, in his video. And the thing here is that it's very obvious that the plane, like he pointed out, it lost lift. Right?
Yeah.
It lost lift, so obviously it started going down. But what caused that loss of lift is the question. Now people are saying, okay, it might have been the flaps. But at the same time, there have been pictures circulating online showing that the flaps were actually down. The crashed aircraft. The wing part of the crashed aircraft, showing that the flaps were actually down. And the fact that there would be warnings blaring in the cockpit if the flaps were down in the first place. And not to mention, they did seem to have taken off and climbed out pretty steeply as well. So, it doesn't make much sense. And at the same time, there's that thing floating around talking about loss of power. I don't know how accurate that is. And people have been talking about bird strikes, which we know probably isn't true, because if you look at the video, there are no signs whatsoever of a bird strike happening. That's not there. Swasti says, is this the same model of aircraft that had the controversy with the whistleblower employee at Boeing? Yeah, that's the one. The 787 in general, the whole program was always plagued with a lot of issues, a lot of safety concerns, and a lot of people, employees coming forward as whistleblowers and stuff. I did an entire presentation and report on this while I was still doing my degree and stuff. And at the time, nobody gave a toss, But now, because the 787 has crashed, everyone is starting to dig up a lot of dirt once again on Boeing, which has definitely suffered. But in this case, I don't think it's the aircraft. I really don't think it's like a serious defect with the 787 or anything. I don't know, because it's been operating successfully for a while now.
It's been one of the more safer aircrafts. Like, it never crashed up until this point.
Yeah. So it
also Captain Steve, sorry, he did go on to say that the pilot probably, this was his opinion, he went on to say that the pilot asked the co-pilot to put the gear up at the appropriate time, and he thinks that the co-pilot grabbed the flap handle and raised the flaps instead of the gear.
So that's the other possibility that I think is also possible.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
because the gear was still down when it crashed.
Yeah. Look, in the takeoff video, as grainy as it is, you can see a bit of the flap. I don't know if that's just my mind making it up, but I thought I saw a bit of the flap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there has also been videos, pictures rather, I've seen online. Now, I don't know how real or authentic anything is anymore, but in pictures posts that have been circulating online where you see part of the wing after the crash, and they're circling the flap saying, "Oh, it was down." I don't entirely trust the source of that picture, so I don't really know.
Even if in the picture is authentic, it's a crashed wing,
Yeah, it's a crashed wing.
The hydraulics are probably lost. So
and it's also
the flap
possible
might just come down on its own.
And it's also very possible that the first officer made the mistake of putting the flaps up, realized it, and decided to pull it back down, and it was on the way traveling.
Too late,
as it was crashing, and it was too late. You get my point?
Yeah.
So that's also a very possible. So the fact that the gear is down is the number one thing that supports the theory that the pilots made an error there.
But just a disclaimer, we are not accusing the pilots of anything here.
There's none of that. This is just pure speculation, and that's pretty much it.
Since it's an aviation event, we have a responsibility.
Yeah, we've got to cover that as an aviation enthusiast, and that's pretty much it. But I mean, that seems to be the real supporting thing here. The fact that the gear is down is not usual at all. Like, even right now on this takeoff, the second you take off, the first thing I fumble for is where's the gear button. You get my point?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just procedure to do that, and Captain Steve mentioned this as well. Like about 50
Yeah.
feet in the air, the first thing you do is you pull your gear up. So, Krish says, seems like a maintenance issue, not Boeing. Seems like the rat was out as well, indicating a dual engine failure or hydraulic issue. The other thing is the rat being out. Now, quite a number of people have pointed out where the rat was out, that particular prop sound that it makes compared to a few of the landings that 787s have had with the rat out. They were comparing the noise of the aircraft as it went by. And I have to say, it sounds very similar. So there's a good chance that the rat was out. That could indicate a dual engine failure or hydraulic issue. You're right.
I don't think a hydraulic issue is related to rat though, because you can't solve a hydraulic issue with the rat.
Rat is for electrical issues,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if there was a hydraulic issue, that could explain the gear stuff. That could explain the gear being stuck. But I'm not too sure at this point. If the rat was out, which we can't positively tell from the video, then it could indicate some sort of engine failure. But, the fact that the landing gear was down is the thing that maybe it was just that okay, how about this? What if it was an engine failure, but it happened so early on in the flight that the pilots got distracted by it to an extent where they didn't even raise the gear? That's a very big possibility.
Or the pilot accidentally raised the flaps instead of the gear.
Yeah, in the
engine
mayhem
issue. Yeah.
Exactly, in the mayhem of all of this, they totally forget about. And if that's what they did, then the combination is completely, that is a deadly combination. Flaps up, engine power out, would make sense. Now, I haven't posted a video exclusively on the incident yet because I don't know exactly. I'm trying to approach the subject a little bit sensitively, if you want to put it that way. I have tried simulating that exact flight a couple of times in Microsoft Flight Sim. Now, this is obviously just a sim. It's Microsoft Flight Sim is not even that accurate anyway. If I used X-Plane, I could have spoken with a bit more confidence on it. But every time you try to achieve something similar to that flight, the only way I was able to accurately get that flight exactly the way how it went was if I turned down my engines to idle and put the flaps up. So I had to take off with the flaps and put the flaps up at a certain altitude and cut the engine. That was the only way I was able to recreate it. So that's something. Obviously, the model is not accurate and it's a flight sim and it has all its limitations and all that, the usual stuff. But
yeah,
that is something interesting. So that got me thinking about the theory of, what if they were taking off, they see that they don't have power or whatever went on in the cockpit, and then by mistake they grab the flap lever and everything just goes downhill from there. Let's see. I believe the rat also provides hydraulics since the 787 hydraulics are electrically based. I'm not sure about that. I've never heard of that. So, Benny, could you check that up?
I don't think they're electrically based, but let me check that out.
Let's check that out. If that is true, then that gives rise to the next theory about why the gear was down,
No, but even if the hydraulics are electrically based, it doesn't if you lose hydraulics, all you have is a button which asks the hydraulics or forces the hydraulics, but it doesn't really do the job of the hydraulics, if you know what I mean.
I get it. Total hydraulic failure. So you're telling me that not only in a dual engine failure would it come out, but also a total hydraulic failure, which seems unlikely. Exactly. A total hydraulic failure is so unlikely unless there is some other catastrophic failure. Usually when it has happened in past crashes, when a total hydraulic failure happens, it's because literally a fan disc blew out and severed the lines, or something blew off the aircraft and severed the lines. That's when you have total loss of hydraulics. Usually you won't just have total hydraulic failure if nothing else went wrong. That's so unusual. So see what it says about the okay, we gotta top of descent is coming up real quick for us here. So let's go ahead and set up 12,000. As a matter of fact, let me go down here and see. Where's our final altitude here? 2,200. So let's go down to 2,200. We'll let the aircraft do its thing. But yeah, Benny, you were saying something?
Yeah, I just checked the 787 hydraulics, and like I said, the electric system, it just replaces the pneumatic system. So pneumatic pumps in the other aircraft are used to drive hydraulic pumps. They don't replace them. It's the same thing with the electric system in the 787. It doesn't replace the hydraulic pumps. It's just driving it. It just pushes it. So it doesn't control the hydraulic. It cannot replace it. If the hydraulics were in fact malfunctioning, then there would have been no way, even with the RAT, to control anything.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if your engines are running and your hydraulics fail, electricity is not your problem. The engines are still running, so you're generating electricity nonetheless, right? So there would be no need for the RAT to deploy.
Exactly.
Okay.
If the RAT did deploy, the engines failed.
Yeah, pretty
and if
much.
the hydraulics fail, then you can't really do anything about it.
You can't do much about it. Total hydraulic failure is usually deadly and catastrophic.
It's pretty much impossible nowadays, since
it is.
all aircrafts have like primary hydraulics, then they have secondary, then tertiary.
Yeah.
So they have like 3 lines in all aircrafts nowadays. So it's pretty much impossible. Like, I really don't know how that would work. Total hydraulic failure. Yeah.
I mean,
in a case like this, though, in a case like this, when everything's happening so fast and so early on, it might have been possible, because you do have to switch it out. Like, you get a warning, the hydraulics are failed, and then you have to switch the pumps. So we can't really say anything. It's possible, but it's still not technically total hydraulic failure.
No, it's not. I still don't suspect hydraulic failure, and the reason for that is the last time I heard of a hydraulic failure, that was a long time ago. Total hydraulic failure, the most famous one that I can think about is a DC-10, where there was a fan disc that blew out and it severed all the lines by the tail section, but that was a catastrophic failure. Like, the fan blade had to break out of the engine and come flying down to sever the lines. That was not... it's very difficult to have total hydraulic loss. So anyway.
So Krish, you seem to be very knowledgeable about aircrafts. Are you just an aviation enthusiast, or do you have some background in aviation?
That's right. That's a good question. Just been lost in the discussion. Forgot to ask about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So while that question gets put out there, let me see what is going on here. Okay, so we're coming down here, and according to our flight computer, we seem to be doing just fine. I'm not so sure about that, ladies and gentlemen, but we're a little fast here for sure, and I just hope this thing works, because sometimes I have an issue with the VNAV on Boeing. I think it's the way how PMDG modeled it. Sometimes we have an issue.
It just likes it doing it on its own.
Yeah, I just... Sometimes it does things that doesn't really make sense. But beautiful mountains here. We'll only be able to do this night flight in 2024 pretty much, eh?
Yeah.
So what do you think? I think I should release a video explaining some of the stuff about the crash and possibly showing a few really animations.
Also, there's a survivor. He was seated in 11A.
That's right. We didn't talk about the survivor.
Yeah.
There was a survivor. And now, the thing is, I don't know, man. All sorts of news sources are reporting all sorts of things. I think some of this stuff is just... Krish has replied. He says, he's just an enthusiast, but for quite a while. Oh, welcome.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of reports coming in. Some people saying he got thrown out. Some people saying he jumped out. He did that. He did this. I don't know. I'm not so sure.
No, the point is he survived. I don't think you can jump out of a crash.
Yeah, I think he got
sense.
flung out. You know, he was near an emergency exit, but I think he got flung out. I don't think you have the time to jump out. I mean, the time between crashing and a fireball raging through are just what? You get barely 1 second if you're lucky, and that too, you just went through a crash. I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. Okay, we have a little bit of an issue here because this flight plan, because I didn't check it before we took off, looks a little funky. It does not exactly... Okay, so it's going to go this way and it's going to turn us around and then we're going to come back in for landing. So it's going to be a tight turn here for the 777. We're still at 15,000 feet and there's the runway ahead of us. We're going to land in from the sea today, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one here today, huh? Okay, let's have a look at our checklist here. Descent checklist. We should have looked at that a little earlier, but nonetheless. Okay, auto brake. Let's set it to 2 here. Landing data, VREF and minimums. We don't have that set, but I'm just going to say yes. It's a crystal clear day. What is the VREF? We'll check that. We'll wing it. We'll wing it. Altimeters. We need to set that. We need to set that just about now. Let's do that. Okay, altimeters being set, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant. That is fine. That is done. Let's move on to the landing checklist where speed brakes, armed, landing gear down, and flaps have to be. Okay, I'm just going to do that. Landing gear, flaps. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to wait for flaps here. Hopefully we'll be able to land before things get hairy here. But let's see. Looking nice. I really love the sounds from this side. Anyway. Beautiful. Okay. Let's take a look at Oman. There is Muscat International right ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. Looking really good. Again, one of my favorite airports to land into in 2024.
I have no idea why that's your favorite, but
I love this place. I love this place. It's absolutely gorgeous scenery. You have the mountains on the side, you got the sea, you've got an absolutely gorgeous airport terminal and a lovely airport which is usually well lit and simple taxiways, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love this place.
An interesting thing though, as you know, I flew into Muscat recently, like a month or 2 ago.
Right.
And it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
I sent you a photo as well, if you remember. It looks exactly the same on the inside.
I remember telling you that it looks so familiar.
Yeah.
Literally looks so familiar to me. And just for you guys' information, obviously we're not landing straight in. We're going to fly over, turn around and come in from the sea. I just want to reiterate that in case if you're wondering why we're so high up right now, which is a question that I should be asking myself at the moment. Why are we so high up? Okay. Turn on landing lights here, 10,000 feet.
The altimeter
is set.
All right.
Altimeter is set, and yeah, I think I haven't double checked the ILS frequencies, if I'm being honest. Let's just hope that PMDG did its thing and automatically tuned that in, because I have not checked the ILS frequencies. Yeah, I have not done that. It's okay. It's fine. It should work. It should work. It has worked before, so I'm hoping it will. Let's find out. FMC message, drag required. Okay, certainly. Let's give it a bit of drag there. Let's give it a bit of drag there so that Krish, while I agree it's unlikely there was a full hydraulic failure, I've seen from multiple sources online the different scenarios where the 787 RAT is deployed and is a hydraulic failure. Okay, interesting. Interesting. even without the engines failing. Okay, now there's interesting information right there. Did you, Benny?
Yeah,
did you read what you just said? That is
yeah, I did, but I have no idea why that was the case. Krish, if you could, if you don't mind, could you guide us to which flight it was? Seems like a reputable source. It's a YouTube video.
Seems like a reputable source. It's a YouTube video. Which channel though? Which channel are we talking about? Oh, we're a little too early for flaps there. We might be overspeeding. Yeah, we are. So I'm gonna pull that back up a little bit. I don't want to overspeed here. Okay, speed brakes.
I just want to give a small shout out here. There's this channel called the Smithsonian. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. I've actually made you see it.
Yeah, I've seen it. Definitely
They
seen
have
it.
amazing flight crash investigation videos, and they really do a good job with it. And I'm just waiting to see what they have to say about it, because I don't think they've released a video yet.
Right. Yeah, I mean, let's see what they say.
Yeah.
Let's see what they say. When it comes to flight channel, my favorite is the flight channel. It's called the flight channel. When it comes to learning about accidents, the channel I love is called the flight channel, and they have absolutely brilliant videos, straight to the point, no mucking about, just beautiful animations, everything really nice. Well, they use simulators. I don't think they use animations, but really good stuff is my point. Anyway, here we go. We're pretty much coming in here to land at this point. I should probably get sky dolly going at some point. But yeah, we're looking good here. We're looking all right. Beautiful mountains there. Let's see how we make this turn though. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want to hit in the mountain. So let's see how we make that turn. That is what I'm interested about. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, coming into land. Benny, I think there's some interference on your side. I don't know what's going on.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me check that out.
Obviously, not every YouTube video is a good source, but this guy seems to know what he's talking about, and what he says makes sense in my opinion. Okay, that's great. Could you give us the name of the channel? So we could probably have a look at it as well. Okay, there we go. We're making our turn here. Come back in and land into Amman here today. And yeah, look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful here. I just hope, yeah, we have enough altitude to clear the mountains quite well, luckily for us. So, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Gorgeous. The sim looks great. Oh yeah, it does, right? I'm absolutely enjoying it. It looks absolutely stunning. Look at that. Look at that is so cool. That is so cool.
All right, is he better? Any better?
Yeah, it is better. And if you're talking about the interference, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, we're making that turn. Let me head into the cockpit, see what's going on here. Okay, 170. Okay, speed brakes around. That's set. Okay, everything here is looking all right. ILS. Okay, if we're gonna use the ILS here. Blanco Lirio. Blanco Lirio is the username. It's probably his most recent video. Blanco Lirio. Blanco Lirio. Okay, I'll check that out. Check that out. Thank you once again. Okay, we've begun dropping our speed here. It's a rather interesting tight turn, and we're passing so close to the mountains. Look at that. Very nice. Beautiful. Let me head on outside. That is a lovely scene right there. Lucky for us, we'll clear the mountains just as we descend below them. So that's good news for us. That is good news for us. We'll also prepare to drop the landing gear right now, shouldn't we?
Yep, we probably should.
Okay, let's drop the flaps now. Come on. Don't be shy now, Mr. Flaps. There we go. Come on, drop the flaps. Drop the flaps. We need more flaps here. Okay, now I need to drop the gear to drop the flaps any further. So we're gonna go outside and drop the flaps, the gear as well. There we go. Dropping gear. Beautiful. There we go. Gear has been dropped and starting sky dolly. Getting back in the cockpit here. Approach mode. I'm gonna turn on approach mode a little bit in advance here. Okay, speed is dropping. Flaps down. I'm gonna check the flaps here. They're already set, but what the? Whoa, calm down, mate. Why did the engine just do that for? Drag required again. We're gonna do the drag. Checklist override. Okay.
That's gonna be a really sharp turn in.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why it did that. See, these are the times when I'm like, why does it do that? Okay. I'm gonna take manual control here.
You don't want the approach to go on?
I don't want the approach to go on here, and I want the auto throttle. Oh, come on. Why isn't VNAV disengaging now? I don't want VNAV. I don't want VNAV. Look at what's going on right now. Oh, finally. Now you decide to give him it. Come on. 2500. We are coming in high, but I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't think you're that high anyways.
We'll be just fine.
Yeah.
We'll be just fine. We've done far worse. Okay, I'm gonna drop the flaps one more. Gonna allow the speed to bleed off a little bit. There we go. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. Okay.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
Don't worry about the sync rate, man.
Sync rate.
Got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. Okay. Do we have a crosswind of any sort? 7 knot wind? Something like that?
And that's bearable.
That is not a problem. It is not a problem. No auto land. I don't want auto land. Who's asking for it? Ah, there we go. Got our speed. Auto throttle is off, right? Yeah, it is. It is.
Yes.
Brilliant. Perfect. That's exactly what I want.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
You're matching the puppies?
Glide slow.
I'm not matching the puppies right now.
Glide slow.
Yeah, not right now.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
Come on. Be quiet.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
20, 10,
There we go. Wait, why isn't my reverse thrust not working now? Oh, good lord. My reverse thrust isn't working. I'm gonna have to use braking here. This is the problem with trying out airline and when you go from 2020 to 2024. None of the stuff is working. Like literally my reverse thrust isn't working here. Look at that. It gives me a configuration for flap warning. Good lord. Okay, we still have some room left. We'll be able to stop, so we're fine.
Yeah, easily. You could have even took the high-speed exit, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I could engage my reverse thrust. It's my first time flying the 777-300ER in 2024, so I guess I need to map that control again.
It's the first time it got released in 2024.
Yeah, alright. Let me just put on more brakes here. There we go. Okay, before I do anything with the aircraft, let me just turn that off here. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our landing replay, shall we?
Sure.
Let's do that before we clean up the aircraft or anything like that. So let's have a look. Let us have a look.
Also, while you're looking at the landing replays, do you want to enlighten us about your next few videos? What are we going to expect?
Sure, we can do that. We can do that as soon as okay, there's the parking brake. Okay, let's take a look at our landing replay. I don't think that was the best landing in the world, but lots of things going wrong here today, so I'm not complaining too much. Let's see. Oh God, guess what?
What happened?
I got an issue with Skydolly. Oh, there you go. We don't have landing replay today. That sucks.
Well, that's a shame.
That is a shame indeed. It was my first landing with a 777-300ER in 2024 and I don't have a landing replay. And this thing requires you to record it from advance, right? Does it have instant replay? No, there's no such thing. Good Lord. Well, there goes our landing replay. We're not going to have any today. That's a shame. That's really a shame. Oh, come on, man. I was really looking forward to landing replay. Okay, let's put our flaps up. Let's get our aircraft moving here, if it'll move. Is it that thing with PMDG where it refuses to move after you stop? Yeah. Okay. So we gotta come here, go to ground. Look at that. We gotta literally replace the tires now. Then it'll do it. So silly. It's seriously so silly. Okay, now it
Kind
should
of
work.
sad PMDG has these issues. Like,
I don't understand.
it's one
man.
of the better developers out there.
It is like, but that's the thing. You need to know exactly what to do in which order. Otherwise, you're gonna have. Look at all this. Come on. For the love of God. No,
What
it's
if
not.
you try full throttle?
It's gonna give me that stupid warning, isn't it?
I mean, who cares about the warning? At least you'll start rolling.
Nope, nothing. Ugh, this is so stupid. This is why I hate PMDG. There's something to do with the parking brake. That's all I know. There's something to do with the parking brake, but what exactly it has to do with the parking brake, Lord knows. Oh, God. Look at this. Now we're stuck here. We can't move. Ah, PMDG. Why are you so annoying sometimes, man? Why are you so annoying? Replace brakes as well, god damn it. Maybe that'll fix our issue.
Everything.
Maybe that'll fix our issue. Can you go forward? Nope. Does not fix our issue. Parking brake on. Oh god, it's so annoying. Like you can't press it back down. It has issues with the parking brake. It's the same thing. What is this thing? Come on. Okay, let's try that again. I'm trying my best here. Nothing is working. I can't move the aircraft. It's just not gonna cooperate. Shut up. Come on. Move. Move,
That's
damn
a
it.
shame.
Move. Look at this. It's just stuck. Oh, good Lord. There you go. We didn't even have a replay, so it shouldn't even be giving us this issue. The thing is with PMDG, after you've taxied after landing, you can't move the aircraft. Like if you put the parking brake on, you're done. So I don't understand, man. Maybe it wasn't such a smooth transition into 2024 after all, huh?
Yeah, probably not.
Luckily for us, we have our trusty friend GSX, and let's go and warp ourselves into a gate. Okay? If that also doesn't work, then I have one solution, and GSX has decided to be a little punk. Look at this thing. You have those days, right? When you just have those days where nothing in the simulator works, no matter what you try. Today is one of those days.
I have those days where nothing in life works.
Oh,
So I think
get in line.
simulator is probably a better option.
Now the slew mode is not working. I'm not even kidding. The slew mode is not working. You've got to be kidding me. Nothing is working today. Like, I can't slew the aircraft. I'm not kidding. Slew is not working, ladies and gentlemen. What? What is going on here? Oh, good lord. Oh, this aircraft. Maybe they shouldn't have brought it to 2024, huh? See what I
Maybe
mean?
not now,
Everything works better in 2020, man. I don't like. Yeah, the brake issue is also there in 2020, but it's not this bad. Like you can get it to move again.
Yeah.
This one you can't get it to move. Look how the ground speed is increasing. Why are you increasing in ground speed? Nothing is happening here. Good lord. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're gonna have to leave it here.
I think that's just PMDG being PMDG.
I guess so. That's it. I can't do anything about this. I guess we're gonna have to leave it here. Look at that. We're gonna have to leave it here. But we'll leave our aircraft here. Let's go and take a look at Muscat at night before we call it a night. Yeah? How does that sound?
Yeah, sure.
How does that sound? This is why it's so difficult to use 2024 and not get annoyed and irritated, because all the time, look, Microsoft Flight Sim, all the time something is going wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is why people switch to X-Plane. Like, I literally bought X-Plane. After buying 2024, I bought X-Plane, and I'm getting used to it because I can't wait to start flying airline flights on X-Plane. It's so much better. Once you set it up, things work the way they're supposed to. In Microsoft Flight Sim, with both 2020 and 2024, as a matter of fact, you're constantly you're fighting the sim. It takes away from the whole experience. It really does. You know, because you're always fighting the sim. You always have to make, adjustments continuously. You can't just leave it alone and enjoy it. No, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen with our trusty Microsoft Flight Sims. Good lord. Oh, anyway. As you can tell, this airport is absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Yes,
Come
indeed.
on, how can this not be your favorite airport? Look at how simple it is too. It's so easy to fly in and out of here. One active runway, couple of taxiways, few gates on the side, nice and easy. Look at how beautiful it is. Stunning. Best part is this scenery is free from flightsim.to. What more could you ask for? It's brilliant. It's gorgeous. Look at it. Beautiful stuff. See, it's not just the fact that downloading scenery is not going to solve the problem in 2024 and textures. See how it loads in so many details so late?
Yeah.
And mind you, I have my level of detail on Ultra. I mean, if this is what it does on Ultra, like what? Do I have to set my level of detail to 400 now? Instead of 200 just for it to stop doing this? Oh, God. I don't know. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that troublesome little flight. It wasn't too bad, but it was troublesome nonetheless. The landing wasn't too terrible. Approach was atrocious. But, yeah. Welcome to Muscat International, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much for hanging out with us here on today's stream. Once again, Benny, thank you for being part of the stream. And there is our aircraft, which we had to leave by the runway because we had to abandon it because it refused to move. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that flight. And I'll come back with more PMDG 777 flights now. It's my favorite airline, and now it's in 2024. Hopefully they fix whatever issues it still has. Flight in 2020 more frequently probably. And yeah, there will be, I'll try to probably make a video on the Air India crash as well. A lot more videos coming up. And yeah, Benny, anything else that you think I'm missing on? Apart from that, I think we're ready to call it a night.
That's pretty much it. Thank you very much for having me.
Sure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for being here. And thank you once again to all our new subscribers. Thank you for tuning in. And Krish, thank you for being active in the chat here with us. Thank you, Swasti, Sarah, EM, and Anas for being in the chat here with us today. Hope you guys have a great day. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya in the next stream indeed. See ya. Bye-bye and have a good day. See ya, Benny.
See ya.